right, it's another beautiful time to talk sports right here on the Culture 11 podcast. Definitely welcome to the show where we talk strictly football, everything football. And it's a beautiful time to be on the show actually because the Premier League season is about to kick off. Not just the Premier League season, all the seasons across the different leagues in the world are kicking off. And definitely football fans have missed football since the World Cup. A lot of football fans have been waiting for the return of football. But congratulations to you as we speak today. The Premier League is back. And of course, there's a whole lot to talk about. My name is Josh, the Black Boy Coffee, and you know I am never alone in the studio. I've got my guys right here with me. Smurfy is on the show. Smurfy, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I just feel so related, and I like the fact that somebody, in the blue side of football decided to change from jersey number 20 to number 9.
To number 9.
Oh, because of 20-something goals, pull up with Paso. Let's see if the cause actually exists or it's just a fallacy. Delap said the cause does not exist, and we know the story was so quick. 1 to 3 months, we already knew the cause exists. Now somebody, Borajao, has gone to pick up the jersey.
Did you say Borajao? So in case you do not know what Smurfy is talking about, he is talking about the fact that Joao Pedro of Chelsea has switched from the number 20 to the number 9. And there's been a lot of conversation around the number 9, the number 9 jersey at Chelsea. A lot of people believe that it's a cursed jersey. But let's talk to the Chelsea fan in the studio. What do you think about this? So do you also, support the belief that there's a problem with the number 9 shirt in Chelsea? Or you think Joao Pedro is about to continue his beautiful run of form?
Well, I'd rather not talk about it. I'll just, wait for the season to start and see. But I'm just surprised that somebody that bought a striker for a record signing and cannot score goals cannot even stay fit for his life. He's talking about my player wearing 9. Like somebody that scored 22 goals, you are talking about him because he changed jersey. Where your whatever number he's wearing cannot even score goals for him. So what are you talking about? So,
well, it is going to be a very beautiful season, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see these brothers go at each other's necks. In case you do not know who he's talking about Alexander Isak of Liverpool. Well, it's been a very sad campaign for him. Since he joined Liverpool, he suffered with a lot of injuries. But we know the quality that Isak possesses. And definitely, we hope that,
you hope. No,
I hope. When it comes to being a football commentator, I hope. Well, as a football fan, I really don't care. I hope he continues.
Because you know that once it clicks, it's bad news for everybody.
I don't know if a mouse that
okay, when you had the likes of Chaluba and Kobe, I mean, Isak for everybody in the Premier League, even for Van Dijk, even for the toughest defender in the Premier League. Saliba, who is currently the best defender in the Premier League, can attest to the fact that Isak is a menace to every defense. But you have Lacroix, you cannot relate. You don't have the.
Well, we've seen situations like this, where a player will be very, very hot, red hot for a particular team. And then move on to where we have Delap, we have Fernando Torres, we have a lot of names that we can mention.
We have Andy Carroll.
We have Andy Carroll.
We have Higuain.
We have Higuain. Who do you have again?
We have Shevchenko.
The
Ballon d'Or winner.
Exactly.
Moved to Chelsea.
Who do we have
became
again?
a flop.
They beat you.
12 goals. 12 goals.
Well, the transfer market is still on, by the way. A lot of teams are still trying to strengthen their squad, in preparation for the season that is started today. And let's talk about incoming so far. For Chelsea, they brought in a lot of names. Jordan Henderson on the free transfer from Brentford, Bako from Strasbourg, Welbeck from Brighton, Quenda from Sporting CP, Palestra from Atalanta, Morgan Rogers. That's their big money signing this season from Aston Villa. He scored a goal on his debut, so maybe that's a start of good things to come for for him. Or maybe it might be the end of the road too. Who knows? Let's just continue. Lacroix also moved to Chelsea from Crystal Palace. Dena from Corinthians was also signed. Chavaria from Rayo Vallecano. Satpai from Cariat. Emeha from Strasbourg. Betoni from Wigan Athletic. And before we say Jack Robinson, they probably will sign another person from Ojudu Bega. It is what it is with Chelsea. Manchester United have also signed Orozco from Fortaleza. Well, they signed him last season, but he's finally joined the team. Tyron Thompson from Tottenham has also joined. Andre Santos from Chelsea. Caldalo from Leeds as a backup goalkeeper. Yuri Tillemans from Aston Villa. Kit Margetson from Swansea City. And there's, according to information, there's a lot of attention and activity going on around Carlos Baleba and Brighton. Marcus Rashford is also back into the squad. I don't want to talk about Marcus Rashford, not because there's anything, but it just feels like everybody who has a microphone and a set of lights now, before you say 1, 2, 3, 4, Marcus Rashford.
You even said you don't want people talking about
Let the brother breathe for a minute.
He was a world class at some point, but maybe Man U fans
well,
so.
let him breathe. At least let him come back. Body
He's
language. This one. Let the season start. Let him play.
He played against Milan. He's back.
He's not bothered. In fact, he's ready to leave tomorrow if a good offer comes for him. So let the brother breathe for a minute. Liverpool have also signed a lot of marquee players. Signed Ifeanyi Ndukwe from Australia. They signed Victor Munoz from Osasuna. They signed Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes. They signed Samuel Martinez from Atletico Nacional. And the man that has brought a lot of fear into the hearts of Premier League strikers, all the way from the Catalan Giants, Ronald Araujo from Barcelona. Smurfy, are you excited about Ronald Araujo's arrival at Anfield?
First off, we only signed 2 players so far this summer.
Now you know.
Ndukwe, Mbaye, Ndukwe and...
Oh, you wish.
Those
Mbaye, you wish.
There's a particular Ndiaye that plays, as a center. Yeah. But those ones were bought in January and was for the under-21 team. So we've only bought, what's it called? Araujo on loan, then Munoz, yes, and we're working on other deals. But for me, I don't think Araujo is a top player. There was a time that he was one of the best defenders in world football, but now I think he's falling off. And there was a time he had someone, and he had to take time off. I don't feel like that's like the best defender, the right defender for Liverpool. But it is what it is. FSG at some point needs to change their plug. Get a different plug, because what they are smoking right now is going to burn down the
football fans can be so loving and so mean at the same time. Well, Manchester City also made some signings as well. Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest for £116 million, and there seems to be a lot of conversation, especially since the Community Shield was played a couple of days ago. Give him time. That's all I would say. Jeremy Monga from Leicester, Rulli from Marseille, Charles from Sheffield Wednesday, and Matthias de Tobe from Troyes. There's also conversation ongoing for Moroccan Boadi. We've not gotten a here we go for that. Also, there seems to be, but I think there might be an issue with that deal, because apparently they went in for Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
but
the deal has already been rejected.
Yes, Crystal Palace has already said they're not entertaining that. They're also still in the market. They've lost Rodri. And if anything should, let Maresca understand that he might be in for trouble, I think the Community Shield against Arsenal should be a very, very big reminder that they still need to make some signings in the market. Tottenham as well is also back. They made a lot of signings, and they are still very, very active in the market. Sandro Tonali has joined from Newcastle, Matheus Fernandes from West Ham, Van Hecke from Brighton, Dubravka from Burnley, Robertson from Liverpool, Senesi from Bournemouth, Cole Ramsey from Aston Villa. I think they are the team so far in this transfer market that I would say has impressed me. And when I say impressed, it's not because I'm saying, oh, they've brought in the legs that will win them the Champions League or the Premier League or something. But what I mean is that for a team like Tottenham, that a lot of people, players inclusive, would want to avoid, they've been able to drag in some major names, and they're still in the market. They're still trying to get a double deal of Savinho and Mamouche from Manchester City, and the players are also keen on the move, which is something that, is it the De Zerbi factor, or are we in for a different Tottenham this season?
First off, I think it's the De Zerbi factor is a major factor, but they had different coaches, Thomas Frank, when they were able to get some of these, maybe not great, but decent players in the Premier League. One key factor that you need to understand is that most of these players are money driven. And for me, if I love a club but it's not paying my bills, I want to move. As long if I'm getting 100 here and a team wants to give me 250, I mean, I'll jump the bus and move. Given that you look at Mamouche and Savinho, they've won a couple of small trophies at Man City, and maybe it might be time for them to move. And it's not that the next season, it's not that they are guaranteed of enough playing time. Savinho is not guaranteed any playing time for Man City.
Mamouche's time has been he spent 1.5 season, and his playing time has been limited. Maybe he wants to, and they have Semenyo, bought other players, and they will keep on buying. That's the nature of Manchester City. So going to Tottenham might give them the opportunity to play, given that the injury record of these players that they are going to be competing against is even massive. So it will give Mamouche the opportunity to play more games. It will give Savinho the opportunity to play more games, because on the right hand side, Kulusevski that is going to compete with him are injury-prone players. I'm not sure. I remember the last time Kulusevski kicked the ball, and he's getting paid weekly. For Kudus too, he's been injured, since, and he's getting paid. So these guys feel like if I go to Tottenham, and maybe the coach is promising them that, don't worry, I can guarantee you as much as 30-35 games a season. So they're getting money, they're getting playing time. I think it's a win for these players and a win for Tottenham as well.
You have a different opinion?
Well, for me, I think I'm going to look at the positive side of things, because when you look at the list of players, if you notice, they were all playing in the Premier League. And I think it's going to be a deciding factor for Tottenham, how their season is going to be. So they know that these are people that are already playing in this league. They understand what this league is all about. They are not players that you're expecting that when they come around, this is how the Premier League is, this is what we do. They already understand. And sincerely speaking, one of the disadvantage, or let me say the negative side of Tottenham all this while, is their defensive what's it called? They have people that looks like they are good defensively, but it seems they cannot get the job done. So I think they work on that, because now they have Senesi and Van Hecke. Those are two good
Van
defenders.
is still there, right?
Yeah, it's still there, and they still have
Possibly the captain for the season.
Romero is still there.
I think
Romero has left to Atletico Madrid. Kuti has left to Atletico Madrid.
Has it been confirmed?
It's in the work, but I think it's been confirmed. But we know the how we can. We've seen here we go.
He's leaving. So now, and now they have Pedro Porro at the right and everything, and they signed a defensive midfielder, which is something that they do not really have last season, because they've done 17 positions.
They had João Palhinha.
Yeah, Palhinha.
And if there's,
he's on his way to Benfica now.
On loan.
He was on loan
Bayern.
from Bayern Munich.
But the later part, if you ask me who was their best player in the later part of the Zabi rejuvenated era, I would say João Palhinha was their best player. Scored a couple of crucial goals, made necessary tackles. We know Palhinha during his time at Fulham, he can go into any tackles when he's required to. And yes, I would like to counter your opinion on the defenders they've gotten. I feel like the likes of Senesi and Van Hecke are not better than what they had. The only issue that Tottenham had was the culture and how those players understand each other. Now you look at Van Hecke at Brighton, wasn't the best of defender last season.
Well, he was their best player. Brighton best player last season.
Agreed, but he's not better than Kuti Romero. Tomorrow, Senesi is. Wait now, if you put Kuti Romero, Senesi, and Van Hecke, everybody would pick Romero.
That's people that are not watching them. You don't go by me. If you put their stats last season side by side, I tell you these two better Kuti Romero last season.
I feel like Romero's major issue is discipline.
Yeah.
You can't have him in a game and you expect him to be there for 90 minutes. He makes very stupid decisions. Sure. Same as some other players that we can also mention as well. But bar discipline, let's say in a very, very crazy universe where Kuti Romero is a disciplined player, I think he's a better defender compared to Van Hecke and Marcus
last season.
Oh, we're not judging with last season.
You see,
we're talking about overall as a player. You can have bad seasons. Before last season, who knew Van Hecke?
You can buy a world-class player and get to your team, and the player will struggle to fit in. And I'm saying that it can still happen to any of these players. Don't forget that you are playing with Pedro Porro. For a defense that is trying to not concede goals, and you don't have control in the midfield, nobody should be playing with Porro in 2020 at right back. He's good offensively, but defensively, just imagine bringing, as terrible as Tottenham was last season, you now bring Arnold into that team. You know that you're setting up the team for disaster. So I'm saying, if you want a balanced defense, what you should do, you are buying Eka, you are buying Senesi. Van Haven will obviously start ahead of.
But they brought in Robertson from Liverpool as well.
Yes.
I believe Robertson should be able to control the back line.
Robertson, at this point, we know that his legs are gone. For Liverpool to sell him, it's obvious that his legs. We saw a couple of errors. There was a time that Kekesh was starting ahead of him, in the season, and the coach did not fully trust Robertson. So you are buying such player. No blemish on Robertson, one of the greatest Premier League left back. But we're saying that this is the reality of Robertson now. You want to go into a season without. They've sold Jess Spence to Inter. So now who will be their left back? So I'm saying that.
Well, they have Robertson, they have Udogi.
Yeah,
that would be the two pairing that they have. I mean, you said who will be, and I'm telling you who will be. I need to tell you, say the
so
Sabi.
The defense line, out of 4 defenders that are going to start, you already have 3 attackers. Van Aven is an attacker.
He's a defender.
Pedro Porro is an attacker.
He's a defender.
Robertson or Udogi will most likely be an attacker. And then you want to, let's see how these guys set up the whole team. But for me, I just think that the midfield will have a lot of job to do. In terms of controlling and in terms of being compact, that would, in turn, help the defense.
Well, he's been able to bring in some names to be able to do
Matheus
that. You have Matheus Fernandes.
Fernandes relegated his team twice.
Simons
relegated his team twice.
Twice.
What do you mean relegated his team? Okay, Gerard Bowen relegating with West Ham means he's not a good player.
A defensive midfielder relegated his team twice. You are bringing him.
He's not responsible for his team relegation, is he?
I agree.
They have a squad of 23 players, and you are blaming it on one person.
I believe you. So when the defensive midfielder is found,
so wait, are you blaming Matheus Fernandes for West Ham relegating last season?
Not West Ham. He relegated with Southampton the season before.
Okay, let's talk about both teams.
Okay.
Yeah? Before last season, right? West Ham had their woes. This is not the first time West Ham has been on the
close to.
Exactly. Southampton has always been Southampton. They went and they came back without Matheus Fernandes, and this brother was part of the team that brought them back. And at the time Southampton came back, they weren't going to stay back in the Premier League, right? Because they didn't have what it takes.
They sold one of their
West Ham also had very, very crazy woes last season as well. And if you're going to talk about Matheus Fernandes, there are a lot of names you can mention in that West Ham team if you're going to put blame. So I don't think we should be blaming Matheus Fernandes. It's just like saying, okay, because West Ham relegated players like
Wan-Bissaka relegated with West Ham.
Wan-Bissaka, Jean-Claude Todibo, they shouldn't make their way back to the highest level, or some of you shouldn't make their way back to the highest level of football anymore.
So the difference between Chelsea being 10 last season and getting close to 16, 17 was Caicedo. I think that answers your question.
That's a lie.
Okay.
That's a lie. Pedro was
where did Chelsea finish last season?
No, 10th. Like he's saying
so
without Caicedo,
you would have finished.
So if you remove the goals of Pedro, what position do you think? This is a team. This is not is not lawn tennis.
Are you trying to say that the success of a team
is based on your
fully based on the defensive midfielder? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. You see, when I say a defensive midfielder is as crucial as anybody in the team.
No, we're not arguing that it is crucial. We're not arguing that a defensive midfielder is not crucial. But are you trying to say, based off your takes in the past few seconds, are you trying to say that the success of a team, either they do well or they do not do well, rests solely on the defensive midfielder?
No, it rests on the midfield. Now, when you're scoring goals, the job of the defensive midfielder is obviously to turn defense that receives the ball in most cases turn defense into attack quickly. That's the job of a defensive midfielder when it comes to attacking play. But defensive play, the defensive midfielder is the first line of defense in a team. So the difference between a team conceding 120 attacks and 90, 80 attacks is the defensive midfielder. So if a defensive midfielder is so, I'm saying that if a defensive midfielder is so outstanding, so we condemned the Gravenberch last season. Why? Not because he wasn't impacting games, not because he wasn't scoring goals or maybe taking the team. He was not there defensively, and that's the difference. I'm not saying that Matheus Fernandes was not pretty good last season, but I'm saying that if he had done better, maybe the number of goals they had considered or the number of attacks would have reduced. I'm not saying, Ajao Pedro can score 1 million goals. If you concede 100, and if you score 1 million goals and concede 1.5 million goals, you would have 500 goals deficit. That is
so. Are you going to blame the defensive midfielder for that? Not the defenders, not the goalkeeper. You have to just single. Wait, the midfield is most teams play with 3 midfielders. So the central midfielder, the attacking midfielder, they do not have any job to do. But let's go for the defensive midfielder. Once they score us more, we have to. That's what you're doing. Are you telling me Arsenal won the league because Zubimendi was better than everybody else in the team last season? No. This is a team game. Everybody has their role. a striker, you are scoring the goals. Midfielder, you know your job. Defenders, you're supposed to stop them from scoring goals. That is how Peter Cech said something that I respected today. He said whenever he's coming into the pitch, what he wants is that I want to keep a clean sheet. I know that once I keep a clean sheet, I've earned 1 point for my team. The rest, they should go and fight for the remaining 2 points. That's how a team works. So not you blaming one person that, oh, he relegated his team.
Well,
he's not the manager.
Football is a game of opinions at the end of the day. Smurfy seems to believe that a player that has relegated twice with 2 different teams
Cannot be trusted.
Cannot be trusted.
Yeah.
While you believe that it is not just the job of the defensive midfielder to decide if the team will proceed or not. We're going to leave it to the viewers because we have time to go on. Because I have a lot of questions, but time not there. So let's just move on. The season is starting, and let's just do a quick preseason check. A couple of games were played during preseason, and of course, preseason results doesn't necessarily reflect or state that this is what the season will be like for the team. But preseason, for a lot of people in football, especially football management, they like to say that they would love the preseason to go well in a way that they can ensure that the players understand the tactics and the instructions of the manager. Also try to get some players into fitness, for the season as well. And also, give enough time to, for the players and the coach and the, coaching team to come together and plan well for the season. But let's look at some of the results for the biggest teams in England. Let's talk about Arsenal. They played 3-0, winning against MK Dons. That was at their training ground. Won Girona 4-1. They lost to Real Betis 3-1. They lost to Borussia Dortmund 3-2. They drew 1-1 against Como, winning on penalties. And then they won against Manchester City at, Cardiff. That's for the Community Shield. Chelsea won 6-4 against Western Sydney Wanderers. Also, they lost 2-1 to Tottenham, lost 1-0 to Juventus, won 3-0 against AC Milan, drew 3-3 against a team that I've never had in my life, won 3-1 against Real Sociedad. Liverpool won 4-2 against Sunderland, won 1-0 against Wrexham, lost 4-2 to Leeds, lost 3-2 to Monaco, and then won 2-0 at Anfield. Man City drew 1-1 with Inter, lost on penalties. They won against the K-League All-Stars. Well, they also won against Atletico Madrid 3-1, and then they lost to Arsenal at the Community Shield 3-0. Man United lost against Wrexham 1-0. They won against Rosenborg 5-0, won against Atletico Madrid 2-1, drew against PSG 1-1, also won against Leeds 5-4 on penalties. It was a 1-1 game, and then they lost the final preseason to their ex-coach Ruben Amorim 4-2 against AC Milan.
His only victory in preseason, actually.
And then Tottenham, they won against MK Dons, they won against Auckland, drew against Sydney, won against Chelsea, drew against Getafe, won against Hoffenheim, and they also drew against Hoffenheim as well. They did not lose any game during preseason. So with all the results that we've spoken about so far, of all these teams that we've spoken about so far, which one of them do you think is better positioned to go into the new season on a strong foot? Remember, we're not looking at results because, results matter, but it's preseason. There are other things that you get to look at. When you look at the cohesion, you look at how they followed team instructions, how they played to the tactics and all of that. Which team do you think is better poised to go into the season, and who do you think should, be weary? Let's start with Covenant.
Well, I will start from the team that should be worried. I will go for Chelsea. Because apart from against AC Milan and Sociedad, I don't think the other games we played what you can say, oh, if you go into the season with this, you can get good results. So, and I think, I don't know yet what Alonso's tactics is going to be. I'm predicting it's going to be a 3 at the back, maybe 3-4-3, 3-5-2, because I saw him immediately Welbeck came in, he was starting Welbeck and João Pedro at the same time. So he might want to go for a 3-5-2, might want to go for a 3-4-3. I don't know which way it will be. So I think we should be worried because we don't know yet. And with the issue of Enzo Fernandez and everything, we still don't know. Now, you're looking at gameplay and everything. I think Arsenal and Tottenham, they seems to be, if you watch Tottenham during this preseason, you will be impressed with what you see. They are good at the preseason, but preseason is just gameplay and everything. So I think Arsenal and Tottenham, for me, they had a good preseason, and if you look at the way they set up, and if you watch Arsenal in that Community Shield, you can see how they want to play. Though they still have the divide and other tactics for their set piece, of course. They are not, occupying the box as usual. But I think Arteta now has an attacker that can create a lot of chances in Zolis and everything. I just wish that half season is not going to go back to let's just get one goal and that's the end.
Mourinho did that a lot at Chelsea, so I don't think a Chelsea fan has the right to critique whatever Arteta has in terms of tactics to win. I mean, you can win the trophy as long as you anyhow. So for me, I think it's just common knowledge that.
So wait, if they say cost Chelsea now, this to me.
Can I ask him a question? Can I ask him a question?
What's the question?
Liverpool best season in the Premier League. How many points do you have?
I had 97 points.
97 points.
Yeah.
Your best season.
And I did not win the league. That was my best season.
97 points, your best season.
Yeah.
Mourinho Chelsea won the league with I think 92 points, playing defensive. Your best season, you have 97 points. Yeah. What are you talking about?
What's your point?
Like,
your point. My point
your
is
best season.
My point is you can use any tactics or style to win.
No.
So you don't have
there
the
is
right
no
to
hostility
critique.
here. Your best season,
I
you
did
have
not win.
97 points.
But
And somebody that was playing defensively had 92 points to win the league. So you did not even win it.
Arteta has had 92 points. I did not win the league too now.
No, I'm telling.
So he was playing well.
Wait,
he was playing well. He was playing good. He wasn't getting any results. And so when you only a foolish person continues to do this one thing the same way without getting a different result. So somebody was playing attacking football. At some point, Arsenal were the best team in the Premier League in terms of goals, and did not get the league. So it was the right thing to do. Just change your style of play. Don't ensure that you win games, but then your defense. You improve your defense setup, and that was what they did last season. And everybody have come for this guy. Let him breathe. He's won the league. You have not won the league in how many years? Let him breathe. So for me, I think it's just common knowledge that somebody who won the league last season and has not made any major sales apart from maybe letting Trossard go, and he's gone on to buy 2-3 players, an additional midfielder, which is arguably one of the best midfielders in the last 3, 4, 5 years in the Premier League, and he's gone on to bring Eric Concert to the team from Aston Villa, despite the fact that he did not sell any defender.
Yeah, Saliba is in job, so
yeah, he will be back, but he has the likes of Mosquera, he has the likes of Nkape, Gabriel already in the team, and Timber, who can also play as a central defender. Ben White, who can play as a central defender. Of course, Arteta will not trust him too much. So I think Arteta and Arsenal is well pleased. For me, I would look between United and Tottenham. Why United is because Tottenham, Carrick was with them in the last season, and he did majority of the job. And yes, Casemiro would be a great miss to the team, but he's bought 2 midfielders. He's on course to bring the third midfielder, who is already, and all these guys are Premier League experienced midfielder, though they cannot do the job of Casemiro, in all honesty. But he's made additions and he's kept the crop of the team.
I think it's smart on Carrick's part to not want to try to replace Casemiro.
Well,
in the sense that when I say try to replace Casemiro, I don't mean that he didn't try to buy a defensive midfielder or whatever, but I think the way they set up now and the way they play now is a little bit different from what they played last season. So it's not bringing a player to say, okay, this is what this person did last season. I want you to recreate the same thing.
Definitely.
He's trying to play to the strengths of the new players that he has brought in. We've seen Andre Santos, I think is one of the most promising, players from that side right now.
Yet.
Well, we saw glimpses of him against PSG and AC Milan, even though they lost the game. We've also seen some other players also come in. Another exciting prospect for me, due to preseason, which is one of the essence of preseason, by the way, would be Shea Lacey as well. He's also coming to that team. But he's quite young. You can't trust him with big games yet, but he's shown, fearlessness, and he's also shown that he's willing to give all it takes to win. So I think that is something that is impressive on Michael Carrick's side.
So that's why I said Arsenal, United, and Tottenham. Tottenham is because it's most likely going to be a new team next season because of the additions and all that. So followed by, I think I'd pick Iraola ahead of Alonso. Why? First off, I feel like Liverpool did not sell too many players. and secondly, the fact that Alonso is alien to the Premier League. That might be a key factor or a deciding factor. But the truth is, football is not played on
But to
paper.
be honest, Chelsea didn't sell a lot of players too.
I just noticed something.
And both of them, talking about Iraola and Alonso, it's their first season with these teams as
No,
well.
but
So I think
Iraola has been in the Premier League.
Did you notice he didn't mention Manchester City?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, don't
Oh,
worry.
so sorry.
No, don't
Oh,
worry.
so in between Tottenham and Liverpool, I'm going to put Maresca.
Okay.
Why? If I use the word now, you
Why
say
do you have to put
who I
Maresca?
rate.
You said Liverpool. And
No,
Tottenham.
I
just said Manchester City.
No, I was-
Why do you have to mention?
Wait, I
Maresca?
was trying to remember.
because that's their coach, isn't it?
I was trying to remember who am I missing out. But after Arsenal, Manchester United, Tottenham, I'm going to put Man City. Why?
Okay.
Because you cannot afford to lose Rodri and Bernardo Silva in one summer and expect to play good football. Who did you go and buy?
They've got
Temple runner.
at all.
He chases the ball everywhere. If you see ball here, go there. If you see ball here, anywhere but left face. You saw that in the commission. I don't have to like.
Well, I would say,
waste
I would say again, because I've always said it. I don't think we should use one game to judge a player. Elliot Anderson
I'm
was
using his
wonderful
career to
for,
judge him and the World Cup.
Elliot Anderson was
judge him.
wonderful for Nottingham Forest last season. It wasn't woeful for England at the World Cup, but it was a very bad game for him against Arsenal. And to be fair, it wasn't just him on that pitch. I don't think anybody
When
did
I
anything spectacular on
when
that
I talk about a player and his
So,
style, I'm just talking about. I'm not talking about being woeful. I'm just saying that I don't see him. He might excel and I might be wrong.
Well, let's see, because we just made a case for Carrick now that he's not bringing somebody to play the exact thing Casemiro played. Maybe Enzo Maresca might be going in that line as well.
Okay, you're
Because
right.
you have Elliot Anderson. Who was that? Do you have in that midfield? They have Nico Gonzalez as well.
He sees them, they laugh. He said they laugh now.
I think they're about to sell off Nico Gonzalez.
to somewhere. Okay, well,
Yeah.
well, they might be bringing
Rangers
in
is
another.
out.
They might be bringing in another. Rangers, I think, is on his way to Saudi.
Kadisia.
They already announced him.
Exactly. So,
Kadisia.
what's it called? They might be bringing in another defensive midfielder or center midfielder.
Yeah,
I
they are
don't
going
know.
for Alex Scott, but I don't think Bournemouth is going to sell for him.
So let's see what that is going to be like because, like we said, it's 38 weeks of football that we're looking at in front of us right now.
I want
and
to make a
definitely.
big prediction. Maresca is going to finish in top 3.
Okay, well,
Take it to the
we will get to prediction. That's exactly where we're going to now because we need to wrap it up because of our time. And that is the big prediction time on Culture 11. Like we're saying, the season is starting today, and before the first whistle is blown, we need to make some major predictions. Now, Arsenal won the Premier League last season. Do we see them retaining their title for this season, or you think somebody might be coming for it? And if that's your opinion, who do you think it might be? Let's start with Smurfy quickly.
I think Arsenal are poised to win the Premier League again this season. So that's it.
How about you, Covenant?
Well, I'll go for Arsenal. The only enemy they have is themselves. That's all.
Well, what do you think can go wrong for them right now? They've made very smart signings. They are playing good football currently. The morale is there. I think one thing a couple of people, like myself, mentioned last season would be the fact that they were not winners and they didn't know how to win. But they've won now. That story has changed. So what do you think can be their undoing this season?
You know, think there's a saying that the greatest enemy of a successful man is the success he made yesterday. He might think, oh, I'm fulfilled now. Not knowing that there's a bigger one. So that's what I'm saying, that they are their enemy.
So I feel like maybe a better manager coming up because Premier League always comes with surprise. Nobody knew that Ancelotti would have won the Premier League in his first season. So secondly, he might be losing key players to injury. Just like I said last year, I think 3 key players in that team that we don't talk about them enough: Raya, Saliba, and Declan Rice. I don't know what's going to happen, but if Saliba is out, he's not going to play for maybe 1 or 2 months. I don't know the numbers here, but if Raya and Declan Rice gets injured at the same time, maybe we're looking at a big surprise in the Premier League.
All right, let's get to the next prediction. Top 5. Who do you think will be your top 5 for this new season? Brother. Arsenal at number 1.
Manchester United number 2.
United at number 2.
Yeah, no, United at number 2.
Okay.
I think Man City should be at number 3.
Man City
I
number
think
3.
Liverpool number 4.
Liverpool 4.
I don't see why Chelsea should not make the top 5.
Okay, Chelsea at number 5. All right, then, your top 5 predictions for the season.
Well, I'm going to go for Arsenal. I'm going to go for Manchester City.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Manchester United.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Chelsea. And then I'm going to go for Liverpool.
Okay. You guys just swapped each other. All right, cool. So that is the prediction for the top 5. For me, I think Arsenal will be retaining their title this season as well. I think United might be doing good, but I'm not sure if they're going to be finishing in the second or third position. So I'm going to go Manchester City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea. That will be my top 5 for this season. Now, what team should we watch out for this season, aside from the top 5? What team should we watch out for? Last season, it was Sunderland.
Yeah.
So what team should we watch out for this season?
I think the team that is poised to stage a surprise or maybe get to the top 5 again this season is going to be Aston Villa. So, but team that you're looking at should give people headache. I don't know. I have a feeling that one of those 3 teams coming from the relegation from the championship this year will not go back. And I'm tipping Coventry.
To
not
stay.
to go back. Not to go back. Yeah.
Coventry to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Coventry is your team to watch.
Yeah, to watch this.
All right, Covenant, what is your team to watch?
Well, I'm definitely going for Coventry too because they are already throwing the part of Sunderland last season. They've made 9 signings already. Though some of them, Frank Oyeka, their keeper Rushworth, they were on loan with them last season, so they are just retaining them. But I think they are going to do well. That reinforcement is going to help them. So I'm going for Coventry.
All right, for disappointing team, I've heard a lot of people mention some names, but before who do you think might be the disappointing team to watch next season? Who do you think it might be?
Everton.
Everton.
Yeah.
Why Everton?
Well, if you look at their team, Ghana is injured. India could leave. They are not trusting Beto again. They are going for Mr. Barry. And, well, they just swap one of... I don't know why that guy is underrated. Dwight McNeil. They swap him for Brennan Johnson. Give Crystal Palace. So I think those kind of decisions, you just have to question what exactly is your plan going into the new season doing that. They might be good, but I think they are going to be disappointed. I'm seeing them somewhere between 16 to 18 next season.
All right, what would be your disappointment?
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
And I'd
Why?
Nigeria will call them Newcastle. But
Why Newcastle though?
I feel like it's just they're walking around like an headless chicken. Cut the head and doesn't have direction. How can you have so much money in the bank and sell your key players and replace them with who? Alaji.
Alaji Bamba.
This season is going to be delicious.
I think Newcastle as well for me because
They're playing Liverpool first, right?
It's been I don't know, it's been
Can put
shocking
your money
for
on
me.
Newcastle.
I still do not subscribe to the school of thought that Eddie Howe was disappointing for Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe brought back a wonderful time for Newcastle
He left
fans.
because of their decisions.
I get it. I get it. So losing a coach like that, losing a lot of players.
Your 2 core midfielders.
And this problem started since last season,
Gordon.
right? You've lost a lot of players. Your main players, the people that are like game changers for you, you've lost them. Gordon is gone. Guimaraes is gone.
Tonali.
Tonali is gone. Isaac left last season, and Joelinton is still in your team. It's shocking. Lewis Hall is another name that a couple of people are circling around
He's
right
even
now.
injury prone.
You know, injury prone or no injury prone, he's been good for Newcastle.
I think he's on
Livramento
course.
is
You get me?
injured. Trippier is gone.
Exactly.
All
So,
is on course to sign
what
a new
exactly are
contract.
you giving the new coach to work with is what is surprising
It
for
might
me.
be a miracle worker.
But, well, I think one thing that Newcastle has always had is the motivation to, if we don't make it, we go spoil your own. You understand? So maybe they might do that for a couple of people. I still feel Arsenal should beware that, Newcastle.
Liverpool should be first.
And Liverpool as well. No, well,
They're playing
I
first.
just feel like, you know why I said that? I feel like, even though they are not like direct rivals, in the past few seasons in the Premier League, Newcastle, Arsenal has always been like a very crazy tussle.
It's only,
Like-
that's what they do against big teams.
You know?
That's one too.
But let's see what's going to happen. Now, what player are we watching out for this season? You see, last season we had a couple of names to mention. João Pedro, or like you call him, João Pedro. Igor Thiago was another name. Morgan Gibbs-White, Danny Welbeck, Eli Krupi Jr., Antoine Semenyo, Ryan Cherki, Bruno Fernandes. A lot of names that definitely shine their light for their teams last season. So, what player do you think may be part of these ones that might continue their run of form, or another player that we're not looking at right now, maybe a new signing that has been brought in, or a player that is waiting just to blow up? Who do you think will be your player to watch for this season?
I'm struggling to find one that maybe we just spring up, but I feel like maybe for the lack of better name, I would just say Bruno Guimaraes has been one of my favorites in the Premier League, and I think I see him removing one of those starters in that midfield and becoming a starter at Arsenal. I might be wrong, but
So
I look at
the
Guimaraes.
for me, I think Arsenal's midfield might be Odegaard, Rice, Guimaraes. I believe that's going to be. Well, what is your player to watch for this season?
I have two players. One plays for Sunderland and one plays for Coventry. If he stay fit, Jack Rodoni is a player I want to watch. I watched him a lot Championship last season. I'm looking forward to what he can do in the Premier League. Another person is Enzo Lefi for Sunderland. I love how he plays and everything. So this season, I want to see more of him. So.
All right. Well, for me, I think I'll be watching out for Andre Santos. Is impressed me a little bit in pre-season, and I've seen a couple of other names as well. I think Palestra from Chelsea might be a very wonderful, signing to watch out for as well. Zolis for Arsenal might also be another name that you should watch out for as well. I think Ronaldo Araujo for Liverpool will be another name.
Don't move for talk about.
Well, if he gets play time, I think Trey Yoni is another player to watch out for Liverpool. He seems to be somebody who can do something good as well. I want to see what Victor Munoz were able to do as well. It was not bad for Arsenal last
And
season.
this guy,
Very rapid and all that.
Nigerian guy that Brighton just bought.
Zadok Johanna,
Yeah.
another person. I want to see Taiwo Awoniyi at Coventry as well. I want to see what he's going to do. So a lot of names for players to watch out. But let's get to the most important ones. Golden Boot.
Haaland now.
Haaland. You have a different opinion?
Erling Braut Haaland.
Erling Braut Haaland. Assist leader.
Bruno Fernandes.
Ryan Cherki.
Ryan Cherki for you. Golden Glove.
Raya.
Raya. How about you?
I'm going for Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Okay. Manager of the season.
Arteta.
Arteta for you. How about you?
Xabi Alonso.
Well, first manager to be sacked. What do you think it would be?
I'm so lost.
Me,
Yeah,
Xabi
I'm
Alonso.
so lost. But
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think any of those.
just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. I don't think
Not
any of
Xabi
those.
Alonso.
I don't think any of those top coaches would lose their job even by January or so. So I'm going to look at any of the either Leeds, Daniel Farke. I'm going to look at Nottingham Forest. They have so Vitor Pereira.
No,
Any of those two
Nottingham
coaches.
Forest. Glasner.
Oh, Glasser. Sorry,
Glasner.
I missed that. So let's just go with Daniel Farke and any of what's it called? Old City.
City manager.
Yes, and the other one apart from Coventry.
Okay, how about you, Covenant?
I'm going for David Moyes.
David Moyes. Why David
I
Moyes?
told you, Everton this season. You just watch out for them.
I think the Newcastle coach should be scared because, like I said, they brought him in with really nothing to work with. You just have who does he have? Yohan Wissa, Elanga, Alhaji Bamba, Joe Linton, Osula. I believe Osula deserves more
Jacob
playing time
Murphy.
right now because you've lost most of your. Jacob Murphy is another name that you should also look out for, but Thiaw is another one. So I think he should be bothered, unless they make some signings before the season wraps up. But I think we've been able to do justice to all of this. The Premier League season is one that is always very, very interesting. But sorry, because of time, we couldn't touch on La Liga and some other leagues like that as well. But it seems to be a very exciting campaign for Barcelona as we speak. They brought in Rodri. They brought in Anthony, Gordon, Karim Adeyemi. They have a very exciting prospect, a young striker from Egypt. He scored a couple of goals for them in pre-season. I think it's going to be a wonderful season for them as well. Real Madrid is also another one to look out for as well. Exciting season ahead. Mourinho with his new gladiators. Let's see what they can do. But of course, it's time for us to wrap it up on Culture 11. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Next time when we're back, we will be talking about the Premier League season will have kicked off officially, and we'll be checking out games that'll be happening this weekend. Arsenal will be going against Coventry today. Man United and Hull City on Saturday. That's tomorrow. Also, Man City against Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea, Fulham. And until next time, see you. Culture 11.